Super Smash Bros. A game where you play as your favorite character and you could throw him off the battlefield whenever you want. But I'm not here to talk about Smash Bros. Entirely. I'm here to talk about one of the most best things that Nintendo has invented when Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U came out, and that being the Amiibos. When I saw Bill Trinen announce these Amiibos for Super Smash Bros., that made me so happy. These types of figures are very beyond action figures. These Amiibo are very much alive within the action figures. I really like the function on these little action figures. You could level them up in Super Smash Bros., unlocking them as costumes from Mario Kart, or even playing as them as little Yoshi costumes in Yoshi's Woolly World. Also somewhat play as them in Super Mario Maker, at least on the Wii U version. Now, I know you guys must be wondering, why are you mentioning Amiibos and Super Smash Bros. At the same time? Well, that's because Super Smash Bros. Melee was the very first Super Smash Bros. Game that I have ever played. And when I first saw the intro, I thought to myself, whoa, they're action figures? I want one of those. And I thought to myself, I want them all. And I also thought that they existed at the time, but they did not exist until now. But with that being said, I'm BBOY'S, or Brain Flight to call me that, and today I'm going to be reviewing all of my Super Smash Bros. Amiibos. And with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate coming out soon, I thought to myself, why not review all of my Amiibos in case if they make new versions of these Amiibos. So I thought to myself, why not review these Amiibos instead of actually unboxing them and reviewing them at the same time. Also, I'm gonna somewhat cheat a little. I'm just gonna review them and show them off as like a collection a little bit. You'll guys see what I mean. And so without further ado, let's get started with some of the characters from Super Smash Bros. 64, starting with Mario. They captured this character very solid. Also, I liked how they added the little fire aura around him. That's a pretty nice touch to a figure. Game. Next up we have is Donkey Kong. I really like how they added that much detail into his fur. What I don't like about this figure is that his little clear stand. I really don't like that. It's too much, a little lean forward. Game. Next we have, it's the dinosaur himself, Yoshi. I really like this one better than the Mario Party one, because I like the Smash Brothers ones better. The Mario Party one, for some reason, I don't like it. It's a little too tall, I believe. Plus, I like this Yoshi. The only problem that I have with this Yoshi is his eyes. That's the only problem that I have with this Yoshi. All in all, I like this Yoshi. Game. Next we have is Kirby. Fun fact, Kirby was the very first Amiibo that I have obtained. Plus, he is so cute, you little pink Kirby, whatever you are, you little gumdrop. Anyways, my first Kirby game was Nightmare in Dreamland. Ever since then, I never stopped loving Kirby. Plus, he could suck up any character that you could think of, and he could turn into that character. Game. Next Amiibo is Fox. I really like Fox McCloud. Even though that I've never played a Star Fox game before in my life, I might have played it once before on the 64 3D version. I'm not really too sure. But yeah, when I first saw this character in Super Smash Bros., I really liked this character. He has his own attitude, and I like how he has his little R-Wing and his Landmaster. Also, Fox is Arcane Fox's favorite character, if you guys didn't know that. Game. Next up we have Ness. Not a lot to say about this one, although I do like the character and all, and I never played Earthbound, but I've heard that it's a really good game. This Amiibo is also pretty rare, surprisingly. That's all of the Smash Bros. 64 ones. Now let's move on to my favorite Smash Bros. Game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, starting with Bowser. Now, I like this Bowser amiibo. It is so much better than the one from Brawl and Melee. He's not leaning forward anymore. This time he is standing up straight. Now he's running normally instead of running like he's in a cart for some reason. Next up we have his Marth. Not much to say about this one either. I'm not really that much of a fan of Fire Emblem, but this amiibo is really rare. Not only that this is rare, but when I first saw this figure, I was surprised. But when I first unboxed it, I was like, look at that sword! Next up we have is Falco. Now believe it or not guys, Falco is my favorite Super Smash Bros. Character of all time. Ever since my brother unlocked this character, I really liked his moveset. His moveset is pretty much better than Fox's, to be honest with you guys. And if anything, if they ever make a Star Fox game that allows you to play Falco, I would totally play as Falco all the time. Oh wait, they already made a game where you can play as Falco. Next we have is Ganondorf. Now, I personally do not like this attire from Ganondorf. I don't know what attire this is from. I do like the Ocarina of Time one. Nintendo, please make that one when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate comes out. But I must say, he is strong. But, Sonic, can you take care of this one?
You're too slow!
Next we have one of my personal favorite amiibos, that being Mr. Game & Watch. I really like, I love this amiibo right here. The reasoning is because this amiibo, you could literally change different poses with this one. You could change into Mr. Game & Watch with a bell, you could change into the one where he has a parachute, you can even change into the one where he has the judge attack also. Next we have is Mewtwo. Now, I really like this amiibo because Mewtwo was one of my favorite characters in Super Smash Bros. Not only that, he is also a legendary Pokemon, and I also liked how they did with the sculpt and his poses. It really matches his artwork. Okay, time for the lightning round with Super Smash Bros. Brawl, starting with Pit from Kid Icarus Uprising. Pit is a decent character to play as, but he is pretty funny when it comes to Palutena's guidelines. Also, I like how they did with his wings, and how he did with Sacred Bow of Palutena, basically Pit's bow. What's cool about the bow is that it could split into two short swords. Even though I really don't play as Zero Suit Samus in the game, but she is really good when you play against her as an amiibo. They captured the details from the artwork, except from the handgun. The handgun is literally just the same thing, it's just blue. They didn't even bother to paint that right. And just a few days ago, I just got the Wario amiibo. Thank you for letting me have this Wario amiibo in Enigma Frontiers. They told me that they hated Wario, so they just let me have it. I really liked how they did every detail on Wario. I mean, look at his back! They even have that in detail. But what I don't like about this Wario is his eyes. But it doesn't matter, I still like this Wario amiibo. Charizard is another decent character to use. They even captured his little flame on its tail from the artwork. Nintendo is pretty spot on with this Charizard amiibo. Next we have is Lucario. I really like this Lucario amiibo because it is very awesome and I like blue. Plus, he's a very good Pokemon to use in the actual Pokemon games. It's very sad to see this amiibo because this Lucario amiibo is it's a Toys R Us exclusive amiibo! Next we have is Toon Link. Now, I like Toon Link rather than the original Link because I like this idea how they turned Link into like this little cartoon kid. I just find it really better for me. Here's Lucas. Fun fact, I like Lucas better than Ness because he has better movesets in Super Smash Bros. Also, my very first Amiibo unboxing was with Lucas. I'll probably put a link in the description below for you guys to see that. Next we have is a NES controller. Robotic Operating Buddy. Robotic Operating Buddy is another Super Smash Bros. Character to be a good fighter in the game. Also, there's a Japanese Robotic Operating Buddy, which is pretty rare than the other Rob for some reason. Next we have is Sonic the Hedgehog. I really like this amiibo, and it's a really good amiibo to face against. And for some reason, they made the arms a little too thick, but I understand why they made the arms too thick, because if it would have been too thin, it would have snapped off easily, so good thinking, Nintendo. Alrighty guys, it's the next day that I am recording this. That's why I had to do the lightning round yesterday, because it was super late at the time. So now I'm gonna continue on reviewing all of my amiibos. Starting with Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. And we're gonna start that off with Mega Man. When amiibos were becoming a thing, I always wanted a Mega Man amiibo. And I finally got a Mega Man amiibo. And I know that there's a gold variant of Mega Man that comes with the Mega Man Legacy for the 3DS, but I honestly prefer the original colors for Mega Man because it shows that it's his true classic self. Next we have is Greninja. Now when I first saw the trailer of Greninja, I didn't know what he was, and I don't know what Pokemon game he was from, until I realized that Pokemon actually made a new Pokemon game which were called Pokemon X and Y at the time, and I thought that they were gonna stick with black and white, but turns out they were actually still going. When I saw that Pokemon, I was like, they could have just picked other Pokemon. What's so great about this Pokemon? Until I realized that they actually made the actual anime for it, and apparently Greninja is the most popular Pokemon in the actual Pokemon universe, at the time at least. Next we have is Pac-Man. Now, I really like this Pac-Man amiibo. It shows his old classic self from the GameCube era. Also, I really like playing as Pac-Man and the actual Smash Bros. Game. Plus, this amiibo is also pretty darn rare as well. Some of these amiibos that I have are really hard to find. Like these Mii Fighters, for example. I really like how they made the faces look basic. It just shows that these are the actual Mii faces. Also, these are the first time that Nintendo has ever made any somewhat Mii merchandise. And this is also a sad one to see because this one was also a Toys R Us exclusive. Here is the Duck Hunt dog. And fun fact, the very first NES game that I've ever played was the Duck Hunt game. Ever since I started playing it, it became my favorite NES game. Also, this character was pretty hard to unlock. Also, I really like how they included the duck on the amiibo. And finally, we have the final amiibo, and this one's also my brother's favorite. Shout out to my brother George. And it is the Ryu amiibo. And they got everything in detail on this amiibo. They got the detail on the belt. They got the detail on his face. They even got the detail on his clothes too. And his little wrists too. With his little boxing gloves, or whatever that's called. I really like that. What I don't really like is the bandana strings on his back head. They're too thick also. But it's just like the Sonic amiibo. I understand why they did that, and I do appreciate that. With that being said, those are all of my amiibos. I really enjoyed making this video because I really love amiibos so much, especially those Super Smash Bros. Ones. Because for some reason, these Smash Bros. Amiibos have their own unique look better than the other amiibos. But yeah, like I said earlier, my very first Smash Bros. Game was Super Smash Bros. Melee, and that introduced these little trophy figures from that little intro that I showed earlier, like I'm showing right now. And also, again, shout out to the Enigma Frontiers for giving me this amiibo, the Wario amiibo. And also shout out to my brother because he likes Ryu a lot. Also, I really hope that they make all the characters from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as amiibos, as that will be really cool. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video right here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. B-Boy out.